What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. It's my second video of the day. Um, this was something that was put on my heart, and I'm gonna go ahead and share it with y'all. This is pertaining to my people, black people, as a race. Now, I know a lot of times I don't look directly in the camera when I'm talking, but I really want y'all to hear me when I say this. I know that police brutality is horrible. Horrible. I had a cousin that was killed out at a mall by security, suffocated to death with them on his back. So I know what it feels like to lose a family member to police violence. I will say this. We know laws need to be changed. We know people need to be held accountable for their actions. All true. We know that the people in power should not abuse their authority. I'm talking about, government officials, people that can influence a lot of people. They should be held accountable for what they say and they do. Another thing is that we all know, if you believe in God or if you believe in the heaven and the hell. In the Bible, it speaks about people leading people astray. And it speaks about how there's a special place in hell for them that lead, if you preaching hatred and violence and all this, there's a special place in hell for you. Because you're leading people astray, especially if you're a leader and people looking for you for guidance. Now, besides all of that other stuff, which is very important, don't get me wrong, very important, this is what I'm going to say to my people, black people. We have to get back to basics. That's what it is, basics. And when I say basics, I mean we have to get back to loving each other. I mean, seriously, loving each other, looking out for each other, holding people outside our race accountable together. Because if we together, there's no way anybody can come in and do things that they shouldn't be doing. Because as a group, we're not going to tolerate it. If something is going on, every neighbor that sees what's going on outside should come outside and see what's going on. We should always stick together. And when I say basics, you wonder what basic is? Basics is, first of all, get back to respect. Love, with love is respect. You have to love thy neighbor. You have to love yourself. You got to love your neighborhood. And you got to take the neighbor and put it back in hood. Because if we just in the hood, we all know what that hood means. And that's not good enough for us. We need the neighborhood. You know how you used to, as a kid, you would go up the block and Miss Johnson or whoever she may be see you doing wrong, and she's like, "Get away from there before I call your mama." Then by the time you got home, she already done called your mama and you get a whooping. Or Miss Johnson didn't whoop you and then send you home to your mama and get a whooping. We are in a day and time where people don't say please and thank you. Men don't open doors for women. We have to get back to basics. There is no reason for you as a black man or a black woman to be hanging outside a gas station. There's no reason for you to be sitting there 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the evening, just sitting there smoking a cigarette in front of the gas station, because you're only doing one or two things. You either out there begging for money or you selling something. You ain't standing there for no reason. There's no entertainment at the gas station. Most gas stations don't play music outside. I know of some. So you ain't there for the music, and if you're there for the music, it's a problem. Does that mean you ain't got no cell phone? You don't know nobody else got no radio? Uh, I'm not gonna get off the subject, but what I'm saying to you is we have to get back to basics. You cannot ride down. You cannot have food in your car and throw the trash out from McDonald's in your own neighborhood. You throwing it out the window. Then you gonna ride up the block all day long, or you drinking something, a glass bottle. You throw it out the window, and you ride down the street, the same street that you just bust the bottle on, and it's your neighborhood. We have to get back to basics. We have to get back to respect, love. Even our music nowadays, there are very few artists that make songs about togetherness. There are very few artists that make songs about black people, strengthening, uplifting, or black love. We have to get back to black love. We have to get back to loving each other. We have to get back to willing to die for each other as a whole, collectively, not, oh, this section over here, that's Black Lives Matter, and this section over here, oh, they Black Panther or whatever. No, we got to do it together, because that's the only way it's going to work. And you got to get back to basics. You got nowadays, like I said, we used to be where a neighbor would correct you for doing wrong and send you back home. Nowadays, your child can do wrong in school, and you go up to the school cussing the teacher out because she doing her job, or your child making her job more difficult than what it should be. But you mad at her. Yeah, he said that you told him, or she said blah, blah, blah. And then some of y'all parents going up to the school to fight with your kids when they get into it with somebody. What are we teaching the kids? You send your child to school with an iPhone, and they in class FaceTime, and the teacher telling them to put the phone down, and they getting smart, nasty with the teacher. So the teacher get right back at them. Now I'm not talking about no racist stuff. It can be a black student and a black teacher. But you will come up to the school ready to have your family member or your boyfriend, or if it's a lady, your girlfriend or husband, whatever, to come up there and fight the person because they telling this kid what they supposed to be doing. Put your phone away, and it's time to learn. It's a time for play, and it's a time for work. We have to get back to the basics. We have to show our kids love. We got to pull them out the house, go play basketball with your kids, go to the park and hit a couple of balls, soft balls or whatever it may be. Go teach them how you play foursquare. Get back to basics. Talk to them about loving themselves. We got a lot of black kids that don't think their skin color is good enough. I don't care if they my color or high yellow. We need to get back to the basics of loving one another and taking care of our neighborhoods, not our hoods. It has to be a point where you start with a base, and that base, your foundation, and once you lay that foundation, you grow from there. That's why it's important to have community centers. That's why it's important for us fellas as black men to find some of these black boys just walking around, or we see in the neighborhood all the time, and mentor them, talk to them. If you see them in the store and if you feel that you can say something without being disrespectful or them snapping on you, say something to the young man. Speak to him, but speak to him with respect. A lot of times you may save somebody's life. You don't know what that drop of knowledge can do for somebody. There's been plenty of times older cats that came to me and said something, and it changed a part of my life. There's been times where something somebody said to me, and it was personal. It changed my whole perspective on this situation that affected my whole life. So you never know what words of wisdom you can lay down without being cocky about I'm OG or whatever. Just speaking into them. You speaking into somebody's life. and planting a seed. And when it comes to that seed, I can tell you right now. Look behind me. Look at that garden. Everything back there started with a seed. Everything back there gets watered almost daily. Everything back there gets fertilized. Everything back there has something in that dirt to help it grow. Even the mulch that's laying down helps keep moisture. So what I'm saying to you is that once you plant that seed, it's got to grow. It's got to grow. It's going to grow. And you water that seed, you fertilize that seed, and that's what I'm saying. That's the love. That's the love you show for your black race. That's the love you show for your community. That's the love that you show for your neighborhood. That's the love you show for your neighbors, that you add to, not subtract from. When I think about our people, black people, and how separated we are, and this crabs in a barrel theory, how we can't even get together and start a business, not all of us, but some of us, majority of us, our egos. But you won't trust a black man, but you will go to a white man and trust him. You won't shop at a black store, but you will go down the street to the Chaldeans, the Persians, the Arabics, whatever, Arabic people, whatever other race it is, Chinese, Japanese, you will go to them and spend your money. But if it's a black store, oh, they charge too much. Oh, they customer service bad. Damn well you know. Every time you go in one of them other stores, you get bad service. It may not be all the time, but you get it, but you go back. You've been to the same white-owned McDonald's in the hood that every time they get your order wrong. Every time you go up there, the shake machine out. Every time you go up there, there's 16 young kids in there that's taking 2 hours to get your order, so the line backed up out the parking lot, but you go back. But you go into that one black establishment, attitude a little jacked up. The girl at the counter, she on the phone, talking to her bae. She holding you up from getting your order. Now you ain't never coming back. They done followed you around Walmart though. Thought you was stealing. But you back up at Walmart when that TV on still. And I know that we do as black people, as business owners, as people that work in retail, need to work on our attitudes. Don't get me wrong. You're 100% right. But don't discount that business because you ain't discounting other businesses that ain't, treating you right. Some of these businesses you going in are billion-dollar businesses that give money to candidates that don't love you, that ain't got no love for you, and will tell you. They actually hate you, but you will go back. How many of y'all stop shopping at Home Depot? So, what I'm telling you is, we got to get back to the love. We have to. We can smile at a brother. What's up, man? What up? You know how we not. Hey, how you doing, ma'am? Let me get that door for you, sister. Start showing the love. After a while, if everybody's showing the love, the community will change, the neighborhoods will change, because we'll start looking out for one another. Because if we don't look out for we, who else gonna do it? Nobody. You gonna look for somebody to come out and march with you, then go bust a window out, and they say the black people was doing it? You gonna look for somebody that tells you Black Lives Matter, black people, we with the black Americans, but the only reason they doing it because of what's going on and the tension that's out there. The companies that said it first and came up right up front will have shown over time that they with the black community. have been there. Now all these other companies jumping on the bandwagon. It's a trick, it's a ploy, because they need your money. They want you to stay or come in. Then we got a lot of these small businesses that's showing that they racist. Little popcorn companies, hall rental places, and they coming out and let you know, no, we don't like y'all. Okay, but you can bring that money in here. Yeah, bring that money in here. Yeah, I'm gonna sell you some popcorn. Yeah, I'll rent you this rental hall. But once you give me your money, get on. But tell your cousin about us. We love to have them up here. Same thing when you go to the party stores. They talk to your women any kind of way. Hey, baby. They buy stuff wholesale that they're not even supposed to resell. And you see it on the package that it's not for resale and overpriced. A lot of these places sell liquor to kids, blunts. I seen somebody post a video of a store that's selling, I think it's like a Vernors, a clear Vernors, or something, not Vernors, but so whatever it is, Canada Dry. And they know the kids mix lean with it, or people mix lean with it, so they selling them for $10. And you'll say, well, they not, it's up to you if you go in there and buy it. They not. But if you got a whole area full of Canada Dry, and you know that's what they mixing with, what you telling them, come here and we'll help you mix it. We not only have to hold other people accountable. I have no problem with that. You have to hold somebody accountable. If you got a business in my neighborhood, put some more money in my neighborhood. Help with the block club that's around your store. Help with the community center. Pay for some of these parks for the grass to get cut, or new swings to go up, or new basketball nets, or whatever. Sponsor a basketball game. We got to start telling them this is what we want for you to be in our neighborhood. But the biggest thing is, of all for my people, we got to hold ourselves accountable. That's real. We have to hold ourselves accountable. We have to value our lives more than anybody's lives. So when you say Black Lives Matter, they do. But as a black person, as a black man, a black woman, do Black Lives matter to you? Not asking a white person or a person of another race, but ask yourself, do Black Lives matter to you? Would you kill another brother just because he stepped on your shoes? Would you kill another brother just because y'all had words? I ain't never seen a word come out nobody's mouth and stab you. I ain't never seen a word come out nobody's mouth and shoot you. But over words, that person got to die. Over words, you go get 3 of your kids as a grown woman and go down the block, and a little boy, and y'all come down the block, beat up a little pregnant girl that's 14, jump and drop kick her 4-year-old in the head. Do Black Lives matter to you? So what I'm saying to you, when you hear Black Lives Matter, not only think about what you want other races to feel about black people and how we should be treated, but also think, well, what does Black Lives Matter mean to you? Not the slogan, not no group. I'm saying, what does Black Lives Matter mean to you? Does it mean you want better for your people? Does it mean you want more for your people? Because sometimes I think about us as a race and I want to cry. I really want to cry, because I wonder sometimes, is weed, drink, sounds, cars, is that what we all about? Is that the only thing that we have to offer each other? And then we look for higher up blacks, or not higher up blacks in different tax brackets Those are the ones that's supposed to make the moves. Those are the ones that's supposed to come back and do for the hood. You right in the neighborhood every day. They on tour. They out here making records. They got their own family. They doing this. 9 times out of 10, they don't even live in the hood no more. But you in the hood and you ain't doing nothing for nobody. I hear people talk about Barack Obama, what he didn't do. And I don't hear white people. I mean, they out there, you hear it. But I hear a lot of black people. Oh, he didn't do nothing for us. Or he didn't do this. And it's like, you don't know what was going on in there. And you don't know what he added or he stopped from being deleted from what was benefiting us. You got one single black man fighting against majority white people that hate him. That hate him. They got mad because he wore a tan suit. Come on. You got a president in there that can say anything he wants, do anything that he wants. But we as black people, what we do, we hate on each other. We despise to see another black man make it. If I guarantee if Barack Obama had got all of us reparations, it still wouldn't have been enough. Because we never satisfied. We never want to give props. I know so many people that have given their life for the growth of black people. They get dogged out now. Talked about. He was such and such, but, he wasn't, all he wanted to do is preach and march. Brother Malcolm, he was about, them 2 black brothers that had 2 different paths that they took. And both of them affected the world forever. Forever. The fact that you speak their names is proof. What family members of yours is known around the world? The world. The whole globe. But you speaking their name, but they didn't do nothing. They didn't fight the way you thought they should. But these same people got beat in the head, sprayed with water hoses, thrown in jail, kicked, socked. But, Brother Martin, Martin Luther King, he kept talking about turn the other cheek. He wasn't talking about it, he was being about it. What's more gangster than standing up for your people, no matter what? What's more gangster than being able to be shot with rubber bullets or bean bags, beat up? No, I ain't gonna stop fighting for my people. Thrown in jail? No, I ain't gonna stop fighting for my people. Staying in raggedy hotels? No, I ain't gonna stop fighting for my people. Putting your life and your family's life at risk every day. Every time you walk up to that podium and you preaching about the freedom that you want for your people. But to you, he didn't do it the way you thought he should. But you can't even run your own household. You don't even show love to your own kids, but you want some of these leaders to show love to every black person. You want them to care, you care. If Black Lives Matter and you really fighting, or not even fighting for it, you just sitting back and you like, yeah, that's what we need to be doing. We need to let them know we ain't gonna take this, we ain't gonna take this. But you doing it to your own brothers, your sisters. You disrespecting them. Talk about a female or a grown woman or, this be that. But that's cool to disrespect your sisters. That's cool to walk around with your pants sagging and your drawers showing. And it's funny though, because back then, when they was getting beat up by police, dogs sicked on them, All this, if you watch the videos of back then, if you see pictures back then, everybody was neatly dressed. The kids. I mean, okay, you had some people that was in poverty, poverty, and they may have been, you know, raggedy clothes or whatever back then, whatever. But the majority of the people that you saw on that TV or you seen pictures of from the students that was going to school getting spit on and pushed around and rocks thrown at them, they was dressed. Nobody pants was sagging. It's part of respect. You think it's cool, but it's actually not. You know, people can tell you a million times where that come from, the jailhouse, but you're not going to listen because you're going to do what you want to do. But it's time that we get back to basics, showing respect for ourselves and our neighborhoods. Put the neighborhood back in hood. Start caring for our youth. You talk about them like a dog, but no, close the rec center down. We don't need that. Let's do some other things because we got to try to make this money while I'm in office. But you're forgetting about the youth, the ones that's going to be around when you dead and gone, but you're not leaving them nothing. I seen a Facebook post about a community center in my neighborhood, and I saw a lady put up under the post. She basically said, I wasn't worried and I'm not worried about the community center. What I'm worried about is our seniors. You can't worry about our seniors and forget about our kids. If your seniors is up in a, you know, I assume she was talking about the senior citizens home or whatever, or they're in their houses. You have to, they doing well. Some of these kids not. Some of these kids is out here not eating. And the only food that they getting is when they go to the community center to get the lunch or the breakfast. So you saying forget the kids? How? They the future. If we do what we supposed to do now, we can make it better for the future, for the kids, our kids. Do Black Lives Matter to you, black people? It has to matter to us. We have to reach out and start helping each other. We have to start getting together to do business together, opening businesses. We should get together and start putting party stores right next to their party stores in the hood. We should start putting grocery stores right across the street from their grocery stores in the hood. And then turn the hood back into the neighborhood. There are more small black businesses in the city of Detroit than I've ever seen. From restaurants, boutiques, hair salons, tax places, you name it. We need more. I'm not saying the police are always right, because we know they're not. But we do need them. Unless you're going to police yourself. And you have the discipline and the know-how to do it. And I ain't saying the police know everything. But if we police ourselves, what do the police need to come in and do? If we police ourselves, we control our own environment. What comes in and what goes out. Truly. If black neighborhoods would go back to the basics and build up like places like, Black Wall Street, where you control everything coming and going, we don't need nobody. And if we can keep our dollars within the community, we don't need nobody. Everything else, anybody else will be a plus if they bring it in positivity. So I've been going on for a minute now. I don't know if my video stopped or whatever. But I'm praying for us as a race. I really am. And this video wasn't about white people. It wasn't about hate. It wasn't about nothing else but black love. And we have to make Black Lives Matter to us as black people. Stop riding around your neighborhoods, going through residential streets, doing $1 down the street for you kill one of these kids. I don't care if you got a Hellcat, Charger. I don't care if you got a raggedy Escort and you trying to show off. Slow down for these kids. Stop killing your people. Stop robbing people for Cardis. Stop running up on people, robbing them for no reason just because you don't want to get a job. Most times in life, people are their own worst enemies. And I hate to see us as black people being our worst enemy. Yeah, they killing us. Yeah, they killing us. For real, they killing us out here. Yeah, the police killing us. You got black people disappearing, getting hung, finding, hanging from a noose here and there. You got kids disappearing. You know, and my fiance said something the other day. I was telling her about, she asked me how many sisters my mother had. And I was telling her. And I said, yeah, she had a brother that died when he was 10. She said, what happened to him? I said, he got hit by a car. She said, you know what I find funny? A lot of people that I ask that's around your mother's age. And when I'm talking to them and they say they talk about they had a little brother or whatever. And I asked them, well, what happened? Oh, he got hit by a car. And we were sitting there like, dang, they could have been taking him out like that. Oh, it was an accident, sir. I didn't see the little boy running in the street. You take them out while they're young. And if you think I'm joking, you think I'm over exaggerating, start looking around. Look for articles about black kids disappearing. Look up some of the documentaries they done had about black kids disappearing, like 20, 30. 1-2 kids disappearing in 2 weeks at a time or shorter. Y'all talk about hanging. You think I'm talking about years ago? No, this happening now. Now they finding black men and women hanging from trees. We have to start loving ourselves. Black is beautiful. We are some of the strongest people in the world. And for me, if I had my choice, I would go back to Africa. If my money is right when I'm 55,